Thanks for staying on the program. Now, the committee set out to investigate the attempted jailbreak at the Kumasi Central Prison and submitted its report to the Regional Security Council. Correspondent Prince Apia has joined us over the telephone with some more. Hello, Prince.
Hello, Kemini.
What more can you tell us?
Yeah, Kemini, I should say that the 5-member committee set up by the former Regional Minister, Dr. Sapon, and the Interior Minister submitted their report today. According to the head of the committee, Superintendent Peter Baba, they interrogated and interviewed witnesses, which included remand prisoners, convicts, fire service personnel, prison officers, and then some policemen. And after the interrogation, they were able to come up with the findings of what might have caused the attempted jailbreak of the Kumasi Central Market.
What are those findings? What do you know about that?
Yeah, what is it is that the chairman of the committee handed over the report to the regional chairman of the Regional Security Council, who is the acting regional minister, Eric Opoku. For him, he declined to give details of what entails in the report, the recommendation and the findings. He said that because the prison is under the Interior Minister, they have to hand over the report the Interior Minister to go through first before they can make it public. Everyone. So as it stands now, the details of the report is not known, and unless the Interior Minister get the details of it, read it before it can be made public. And the Regional Minister, who is the chairman of the RECSEC, says that by the end of today, by close of today, they are going to hand over the report to the Interior Minister, Kemini.
Well, Prince, I'm grateful for your time. Prince Apia joined us from the Ashanti region, where the 5-member committee set up to investigate fire and attempted jailbreak at the Kumasi Central Prison and submitted its report to the Regional Security Council for onward transfer to the Interior Ministry. We'll follow this closely and bring you more in subsequent broadcasts. Meanwhile, investigations into the recent police recruitment scam are almost complete. That's according to the Public Relations Director of the Police Service, Cephas Arthur. The Police Council, under the chairmanship of the Vice President, has endorsed the report of the Special Committee set up to investigate the scam. In an interview with Joy News, Superintendent Cephas Arthur said the case has been referred to the Attorney General's Department.
Already investigation is gone very far and almost getting to the end. But as I did indicate, we are still finishing up the investigations, and to the extent that we have even forwarded the report as requested by the Police Council to them. Now we are working on the docket to be forwarded to the Attorney General's office. A few things will be added to it while we finalize the technicalities. So we are almost through with investigations, and we are also finalizing the processing or the preparation of the docket for Attorney General to also undertake its duty.
So how soon should we see an end to this whole thing?
I wonder, I wish I can determine the how soon. How soon the police can do their bit, I can assure you that very soon, because we are almost at the end of what we are supposed to do. The other will be left for the other institutions that are charged with that responsibility. As we indicated, the Attorney General will have to come in to advise us legally on what step to take as per the kind of dockets that we are going to put before them. And once they advise us whether we are going to take the action or they are going to take the action, if there's going to be any criminal trial, then it will be for the court also to do their bit.
Are we expecting more people to be interdicted, regarding this issue?
This is quite a crucial question that you've asked. So far, we have, as you have indicated, investigated 14 persons in connection with this case, 11 of them being civilians and 3 being police officers. An investigation has not completely concluded. In the course of the investigation, if any other person should come up, any other name comes up, we shall extend the investigation to them. But as we sit now, I can't see far into the distance.
The recommendation here suggests that the police put in measures to sensitize and educate the public on police recruitment processes so as to avoid the recurrence of this kind of incidents. What kind of measures are you going to be implementing?
As per the directive of the police administration also, we are going to go all out using all requisite media, both electronic and print. We are going to even use outdoor. We may even use printing of literature and other written material to ensure that we are able to get down to the last person at the grassroots as far as the recruitment processes are concerned. You know, knowledge is power, and when you are adequately informed about the processes, you are adequately informed about something, how something is done, then you become powerful enough to be able to resist all temptations like this recruitment scam that we witness.
Well, you're watching Joy News today. There's more to come here. Don't go away. Thanks so much for staying on the program. Now, service providers for the National Health Insurance Scheme say they will not back down on a decision to charge cardholders unless outstanding claims are paid. Now, the providers made up of the Ghana Health Service, the Christian Health Providers Association of Ghana, the Society of Private Medical and Dental Practitioners, as well as the Ghana Registered Midwives Association, and in a joint statement said cardholders must be prepared to pay for services rendered when they visit any health facilities. Let's gauge the situation on the ground with our correspondents who are across the country. We start off from the central region with Richard Kojo Nyako. Hello, Richard. Good afternoon, Richard.
Yeah, good afternoon, Kevin.
Which facilities have you been to?
Well, I've been to the Almina Health facility, I've been to the Cape Coast Metropolitan Hospital, I've been to the Cape Coast Teaching Hospital. The news is that residents and the NHIA subscribers are very angry. They are not taking it kindly, the withdrawal of services by the service providers. According to them, government should, with urgent necessity, do something about it, so that, because already the service is not that good, because even medicines that they are supposed to even get when they go to the medical facilities, they are not even getting it. So when this one comes into force, they are going to really feel the impact very well. But I must also add that I've been speaking with the medical superintendent in the hospitals I have been, and at the Cape Coast Metro Hospital, that directive is not enforced, because the medical superintendent told me that they just heard it on air, and so if they are very serious, they need to communicate the directive through writing or some kind of document, so that if there are implications in the near future, they would be in the right position to answer. So I can tell you on authority that in all the facilities I visited, the directive by the service providers is not enforced, because according to them, they've not received any formal communication from their headquarters.
You would even hear. Thank you very much, Richard. Richard Kojo Nyako joined us from the central region, where he tells us that the decision is yet to be set in motion. Now, the computer is undoubtedly the most important tool in the 21st century. No industry functions today without the computer, making the computer and ICT indispensable as far as academic disciplines are concerned. But it appears the University of Ghana is yet to realize this and give the discipline the needed attention. Manazia Soria-Wone has been investigating the neglect of this department.
At the basement of the Regional Institute of Population Studies at the University of Ghana, a lecture is ongoing in a dimly lit and poorly ventilated room. The students here are from the Computer Science Department. The department has no building of its own, and students and lecturers here say They are perching in 3 different departments: the Regional Institute of Population Studies, the Statistics Department, and the Chemistry Department. They say the conditions in which they study are about the worst in the university. In this lecture room, for instance, only one bulb is functioning, but poor lighting is not the main concern of anyone who enters this room. The basement of this block has sewage problems, and the stench can be smelled here. The lecture room here is very warm because the only air conditioner here carries a scary notice which reads, "Danger, danger, please note. This AC sparks seriously whenever it is powered on. Please, please, do not make the attempt to power it on. Thank you, by DCS order, June 13, 2014, 9 o'clock a.m. It is almost a year since this notice was written, but the air conditioner is yet to be repaired. In one block at the chemistry department, over 100 students are crammed into a room that is supposed to take 48 students. Here again, the air conditioners are dysfunctional and the heat is unbearable. But space is not the only headache of students who came to this university to study computer science. The computer laboratory here doesn't have a single computer, not to talk of other complex equipment for the program. The students who do not want to speak on record for the fear of victimization say the expectations with which they came to this university have not been met. The provost of the College of Basic and Applied Sciences, Professor Ebenezer Odrowusu, admits there are challenges with the department, but says steps will be taken to address them. Joy News can also report that the challenges affecting this department are not new. A damning report written by the Accreditation Panel of the National Accreditation Board in 2005 and intercepted by Joy News in the course of this report indicates not much attention has been paid to the woes of the computer department highlighted in the past. The report raised critical issues about the poor nature of the department's library, the high student-teacher ratio, the low capacity of staff members, and inadequate, and in some cases, lack of essential equipment for teaching and learning. 10 years on, most of the issues highlighted by this report have worsened, and it does not appear much is being done to improve conditions in the department. For Joy News, Manasseh Azure Arene reporting.
Head of the Political Science Department at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, Dr. Richard Amwakoba, is questioning the decision by the NPP's National Executive Council to take more money from parliamentary aspirants who wish to contest incumbents. According to Dr. Amwakoba, the decision to make aspirants pay extra 20,000 development levy will only give certain MPs an advantage they already enjoy. He spoke earlier on News Desk. Meanwhile, in the same conversation, Anakomia, who is Director of Communications with the New Patriotic Party, is described as positive discrimination, the decision not to allow aspirants contest the party's existing female MPs.
I don't know how the MPP can come up with something like that. Most of provisions in what I have heard are unconstitutional. Yes, it is a good idea to have gender balance, to have more women representation in government, but that is not the way you do it. You do not bar men from running against women because it is in conflict with the Constitution of Ghana. Article 17 provides for ban against gender discrimination, and so you can't do that.
Well, wouldn't it only be in line with the affirmative action that a lot of gender advocates have been asking for?
That is called quota. Affirmative action is coming up with a reasonable accommodation that puts people or groups that have been disenfranchised on the same level. When you do it properly, it is not against the law. It is not discrimination. But if you make it that you set aside certain things for certain groups, that clearly is discrimination. And so
it is positive discrimination. And all of us as a nation, we all have aims towards affirmative action. Affirmative action is making concession for women in recognition of the historical disadvantage that women have suffered in this country and indeed the world. So affirmative action is just positive discrimination. If you look at the filing fees, all women contestants are paying half of the filing fee, together with the youth, that's below people up to age 35 who want to contest, and also people with disabilities. They are all positive discrimination. I mean, somebody who is up to 35 is going to pay half the filing fee. That's also discrimination. People with disabilities are also going to pay half. That is also discrimination. But you would agree that it is positive discrimination. Now, the specific discrimination in favor of the woman, it is not law. It has a moral form that if people want to contest a sitting female MP, the party's preferred position is that female MPs should be contested by female contestants, so that we do not reduce, we do not risk reduction in the number of female MPs. At the moment, out of the 123 MPs of the NPP, only 16 are women. And if you allow the open contest, you risk reducing that number instead of increasing it. So the party would appeal to people who are men who want to contest it in MPs. We would negotiate with them, we would appeal to them, we would try and give them other assurances and so on. If there's agreement, then they can step down. If there's no agreement and they insist on standing and they satisfy the national regulations and laws for standing for parliamentary seats, then they can go ahead.
Well, discrimination is discrimination, whether it's positive or negative. What Manaf said is exactly what they should have done. It is one thing if the party is appealing to its members not to contest against women in certain constituencies, and as we put it, appeal to them. And if they don't agree, they can go ahead and run. That's exactly how it's supposed to be. Appealing to is not making regulation. Yes.
The wording in the statement, the wording that conveyed the decision, let me just read it to you. The meeting also adopted a proposal for only female aspirants to contest the 16 female members of parliament. So it is a proposal that the party has put out. I think in the reporting, it's coming out like it's a fiat. But if you read the statement that I'm sure you have before you, it says that the meeting also adopted a proposal for only female aspirants to contest it. So it is not a fiat.
I see.
I think in the press, in the media reporting, it's coming out like it's a fiat.
Is this a proposal the party is seriously considering, given this special treatment to women MPs and women generally?
It is a proposal that the NEC has made to the constituency or to the party in general. So if people feel that well, if this is the party's proposal, I'll go ahead with it, fine. If people feel strongly that they will still insist on their right to contest, fine. So it is still an appeal.
Now, the Ghana Health Service says it does not have adequate funds to effectively manage any outbreak of cholera. Last year, over 17,000 cases were recorded, and with the onset of the rains, fresh infections are anticipated. But the regional director of the Ghana Health Service at the Greater Accra region, Dr. Linda Van Otu, says her outfit will need the help of other organizations to finance the fight against cholera.
It is not just health. We come in with the education for prevention, we come in with the treatment, and we come in with the restoration of health for those who have it and also for their relatives or the people that they live with or work with. Okay. So that is our side. Now, in terms of providing structures for the maintenance or for the management of all these things that we do, it is not our office that would put up the facility. We work with the district assemblies, with the regional coordinating council, with NADMO, NCCE, the Ghana Education Service, even the police, and all the other people whose work impinge on health. We work with all of them. So it is not just about us putting up the structure. That go beyond what we can do. So that is why we cannot put up the structures. And that is why we are calling on other people to support. Because this is really capital intensive.
Okay, so with this issue about NHIS service providers, charging card holders, are we still going to see the treatments of cholera free?
Well, for us, we will treat them when they come. We will not ask them to pay, but someone has to pay for it. Because the infusions are not for free wherever we get them from. The giving sets are not for free. So I think that it is necessary to find a way of financing this.
Meanwhile, the Ghana Coalition of NGOs in Health has asked government to work proactively in dealing with a decision taken by service providers under the National Health Insurance Scheme not to back down on a decision to charge card holders unless outstanding claims are paid.
But the point is that for us as La General Hospital and any other hospital in the public sector, we do not work on verbal instructions. I believe that we are here to get a documentary instruction, a correspondence, a written correspondence from our authorities.
Which is?
Normally, once the Director General is involved, it will come from the Ghana Health Service head office, and then we'll be expected to comply. But the point is that as a hospital, about 2 days ago, we closed down our OPD to do routine fumigation to prevent what we call nosocomial infections, infections that you will not come to the hospital and take. It's something we do periodically. And so Monday and at the weekend, up to Monday, we didn't work. At the OPD, other areas worked. And so we just resumed today at the OPD. And services are being provided as usual. We are not discriminating yet. We are not charging NHIS yet because we really need a directive, a written directive. This was a news item. In public sector, we don't work based on news item.
Okay, so basically the issue is that the NHIS is owing or has not paid the claims.
Yes, the last time NHIS paid this hospital was for July, up to July last year. So as of December, NHIS was owing us over 952,000 Ghana cedis. Now, but the point is that for the rest of the months, like from January to today that we are talking, that one, NHIS is not to blame. It's the case that we have not submitted that bill yet. But the point also remains that with the bill, there are processes that you go through to submit your bill for payment. So if any NHIS is owing us, is very true, but as of December. But we will not just be mischievous and say that even what we have not submitted, they have not paid. But they have not paid us actually up to as of December last year.
And how is that affecting the run of the hospital?
I are still here on Joy News. We'll say on the subject in the next few minutes. Michaela Anderson has been on this beat here in the Greater Accra region, and she's here with me in the studio. Michaela, which hospitals did you go to? Which health facilities?
I went to the La General Hospital and then the Ridge Hospital. That's Adabraka Hospital.
Oh, and the gentleman we had earlier from was speaking from the La General Hospital.
He's the administrator. His name is Philip Afeti-Koto, and basically he's saying that the NHIS owes them over 900,000 Ghana cedis. That's from July up until last year, December. And so they think if they won't hesitate if the Ghana Health Service gives them the directive to revert to the cash and carry system, because according to them, they don't have money, and it's been very difficult running the hospital. He talks about items they don't have, which are in short supply, like disposable gloves, gauze, and some other items. So they think if they don't pay, then it means they might have to let people pay for the services they render.
Was it any different from Ridge?
When I went to Ridge, they told me that, well, for now, they've not been asked to ask their patients to pay for the services they render to them. So right now, they're also waiting for a directive from the Ghana Health Service.
You also spoke with some patients. What did they tell you?
Well, I spoke to some pensioners, and surprisingly, they are telling me they are not working, and therefore, if the hospitals ask them to start paying for the services they render them, then it means they will die. They fear they might die. I spoke to some BP patients. I spoke to HIV patients. I spoke to some patients who say they have eye problems, and they're saying because they frequently visit the hospitals for their medications, if they should stop using the NHIS, is really going to affect them. I spoke to one pensioner, and let's see and hear what he said to me.
Indeed.
All these things, some of us are pensioners. You do work for a long time, and nobody cares. And now that you say pay, and you pay, and they are not paying. So what can you say? You don't have anything to change the system. If you are at a stage where you can't do anything, if your children can pay, you are going to die. That's all. That's all. No, you can talk to the people, say they should do, and they won't do it. We Ghanaians, we are too selfish. You see, somebody's lacking that is not making the health card to work. You see, you are not concerned today, so you don't care. So that's the position. So we the people who are using, especially pensioners, what can I say? There's nothing you can say. But you know that it's mismanagement which is causing the problem. Mismanagement. And listen, these things the government should be able to pay. But as it is now, you know that there's no money because you get VAT on everything. So if I go and buy anything, you charge me VAT. So indirectly, you are collecting money for me for this system. So it's the government to pay, and then we go. But it's mismanagement which is causing it. So it's as simple as that. No, the government should pay, but you can say the money is not there. Excuse me to say it. If they put you at this position now, the cash is not there. Because if I trust, I'm a president, I say do this. You go and do something which will please you. And the president alone hasn't got the eye everywhere. That's it. So it's selfishness which is disturbing us. Simple as that.
But beyond the pensioners, you also spoke with a woman who felt that maternal care could be gravely affected by this. So tell us more.
Yes, she's also a patient who tells me that she was at the hospital yesterday, but she was not taken care of, and she's worried. So when I spoke to her about this development, that very soon she might have to pay from her pocket and not use the NHIS, she was like, really, she's concerned about the pregnant women and the children, because they continuously or frequently visit the hospital for healthcare delivery. So if that happens, then they might suffer.
Indeed. Let's listen to her.
Insurance. Do you use the insurance? But they said the government has not paid them. Government is owing them. So very soon they are going to stop using the card. How do you think that is going to affect you?
You see, it will affect the pregnant women and the children, because most of the times pregnant women, sometimes they don't have money to go to an antenatal and so on. So if they stop it, I think even if they want to stop it, those parts, pregnant women and children, they shouldn't stop it in their side. They can still use it, because normally we pay and they attend to us. If only we pay and they will attend to us in time, that will be okay. But if only we pay and they will not attend to us, that one too will not work. So we pray that things will work well, they pay well, so that they look at me. I'm always on pregnant women, because the time that they will be at the time that they go to the antenatal or labor ward, they will not have the money to go. So they shouldn't stop the health insurance at their side and the children.
Well, Michaela, thank you very much for that report. Now, water is life, but for residents of Behenase and the eastern region, it is a potential cause of death. Their only source of drinking water is contaminated and it's a major source of disease. Derek Akosam has more.
Behind me is the major source of water for the people of Behenase. They call it Kradasu because when you come here at any time, you would find a calabash here that you fetch the water. According to them, it's a deep well. They don't know how it came about, but it's their only source of water. And it looks like the water comes from deep down the earth, more of a dugout, something that has been put here naturally for them. Now, it's not in the best of conditions, not the best water that people would love to drink, but they have no choice. This is the water they have to drink every day. Imagine walking 2 kilometers twice daily just to have access to water. This is what residents of Behenase in the eastern region go through just to enjoy this basic necessity of life. For them, lack of potable water is a major source of worry. The only source of water in the area is this well.
Even water, we go to Ati. That place is so far. So even 2 times, we can go there 2 times, 2 times, 2 times, 2 times. That's our problem. So we need the water.
We lack access to potable water. We walk long distances just to fetch water. We are usually tired after those journeys. We are pleading with the government to come to our aid.
I go to the well twice daily. It is our only source of water. It is not clean water. I fall sick most of the time because I drink from the well. We contract cholera from drinking from the well.
Fever. And cholera.
Access to potable water is a difficult task. The contractor wants us to pay for his fuel before he digs a borehole for us, and we can't afford it. The well is our only source of water. We also drink rainwater.
Many of the residents say they visit the health facility twice each month as a result of the ailments they contract from drinking from this well. They tell me getting access to pipe-borne water will be a big relief. It will save their lives and help them save some money as well. Derek Ekosam for Joy News.
Now, veteran sports administrator and entrepreneur Herbert Mensah has lashed out at government for failing to appoint the right people to head the sports ministry. 3 men have been appointed youth and sports minister in the last 2 years. The former chief executive of Kumasi Asante Kotoko, Herbert Mensah, is of the opinion that it is a typical case of putting square pegs in round holes.
It is sad when somebody is given public office who makes statements of such asinine proportions and goes unchecked. To make such statements that he made, and his entire tenure was a failure. Was a failure. You know, I could go further and further. It's not personal. I called him when he came into office. And this is what I wonder. Why do we take a car to a doctor? Why do you go to a mechanic to eat your food? For heaven's sake, appoint people who can do the work. And if they can't do the work, that they have the humility of servitude for people to understand, yes, you can't do the job, but you are a political friend of the president. That's why you became a minister. Look, the buck stops somewhere. And the President Mahama is my friend. I have respect. But at the end of the day, you keep appointing people who are incompetent, we get incompetence. It is not a magic rod. Stop blaming the chief director of sports. Stop blaming bad luck. Stop going to something else. Appoint people who are capable and understand what it is to promote sports amongst the youth, what it is to look at infrastructure in the systems.
Former Youth and Sports Minister Elvis Efiye-Ankwa claims his removal from office after last year's World Cup fiasco in Brazil does not connote any wrongdoing. The former sports minister wept when he appeared before the panel investigating Ghana's scandalous participation in the tournament. Ahead of the presentation of the commission's report to the presidency, the former minister insists he was made the fall guy for Ghana's abysmal performance at the World Cup.
Oh, it's not hot. It's only when there are tournaments that there are so many interests, but really, it's not really. I didn't see any monsters there, you know, honestly. I didn't see any monsters there. There were fantastic people there and wonderful people, and, you know, we should just keep our cool. When there are tournaments, naturally people are excited, there's so much expectation. So, and when we go and we don't do well, then we are all looking for somebody's blood. It's normal, and I had to be sacrificed, so it's normal, you know. So I think that we should support the new minister. I think the new minister is very capable, and whatever advice I have, I'll give it to him in chambers. But I have full confidence in him and his capabilities. Advice I'll give him behind closed doors.
All right, so that'll be all for sports for now. My name is Baba Tando. Have a good afternoon.
Thank you very much for staying on. President Mahama is in Nigeria ahead of that country's election on 28th of March 2015. He has urged the government to ensure voters are not disenfranchised and also advised Nigerians to accept the outcome of the elections.
This is a critical election for Nigeria, and it will be one more indication to the world that Nigeria is a democratic country ruled by tenets of good governance and rule of law. We expect that there will be no post-election violence, and that all the parties involved in this election will accept the results of the election in good faith when INEC has announced them. ECOWAS will continue to monitor the situation and will do everything possible to stand in solidarity with the Nigerian people.
Well, that's it for the segment. Our top stories here on Joy News today. Committee set up to investigate attempted jailbreak and fire at the Kumasi Central Prison submits report to Regional Security Council. Head of Political Science Department of the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, Dr. Richard Amwakuba, questions decision by NPP to take more money from parliamentary aspirants who wish to contest incumbents. Visit myjoyonline.com for more news. Thank you very much for your company here. My name is Kemini Namani Amana. Have a good day.